Hey guys, how's it going? So today what we got is a 2002 TDI ALH motor. What I'm going to be doing it on is I'm going to be replacing the thermostat and the thermostat housing, as well as I'm going to be replacing this coolant line that goes right here back to the EGR cooler, because as you can see it's leaking coolant. And yeah, so I'm going to get started. Right here I got a new thermostat from my buddy at Das Parts. Comes with the O-ring, and as well as this, which is the thermostat housing, and this hose, which I got for free. It's gonna replace it. Yeah, so I'm gonna just get started. First thing we're gonna do is jack up the car, and right down there, this knob right where my finger is, you pull that out and twist it counterclockwise and the coolant will start to empty out. I suggest doing this when the motor is warm but not hot, just so everything flows out nice and smoothly. So yeah, first I'm going to start up by jacking the car up, because I need to fit this bucket underneath of it. If you have a shallower bucket, you won't need to do this, but here we go. Okay, so as you can see, once you get under here, I'm just going to show you. So this knob right here, I'm going to turn it and cool it. So counterclockwise turn first and then pull it out. And yeah, I'm not getting much out of there. Could have leaked out a lot already, but definitely be more coming out than that. Oh right, also I forgot, open this to release any pressure from your cooling system. And there we go. Now as you can see, it's starting to fill up. Oops, my mistake. So see, it's draining out. Got a bit of water in there because I used it to top it up. Once that is full, then we can proceed to work on the thermostat. Okay, so I don't have a solid way to mount the camera while working on this, so I'm just going to show you step by step. So first, I used some channel locks to remove this hose clamp, pull it back, and then that just slid right off. Now once I raise this up, a little bit more coolant drain. Some is going to spray out there, but from what it looks like, there are two bolts that hold the thermostat on. They are two 10mm bolts, and I'm about to go take those off now. I'm going to get a extension and a swivel socket so I can reach in there. Okay, so as you can see, it's these two bolts to get the flange off. This is all I used. Extension with the swivel and a 10mm socket. So now, if you can see down in there, that is the thermostat, and there's a little rubber O-ring around it, so I'm going to pull that out and there, and we're gonna inspect it and then put the new one in. Okay, so I got the new thermostat in, as well as the little O-ring, but what I discovered is my parts guy gave me the wrong flange. As you can tell, this one comes out on a 45 and straightens out, and the one I took off is straight. So I'm just gonna put this one back on. It does look a little dirty. I'm just gonna go a wire brush right in the parts where the O-ring goes, then I'm going to put it back on. It should be okay. Give it a little rinse out, clean it up, and then throw that back on, and we should be good to go. Okay, so for reinstall, I got a light down here, because what you're going to notice is lining those bolts up is a bit of a trick, but if you get the top one in first, it helps a lot if you have a light. You should be good, and you just line up the bottom one. So I just threaded them by hand, so now I'm gonna snug them up and then put the hose back on, and the thermostat will be done. Alright, so that's all bolted back up. I got my hose back on. Oh, let's focus. So got my hose back on. That's all tightened up, sealed up. I got my new hose on right there. That was easy, just two hose clamps, slide it in, slide out. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna top up the reservoir with G12 coolant. Then once that's topped up, I'm gonna let it run and gradually fill it up. Once it doesn't want to take any more, I'm gonna keep that tray underneath of there, and what I'm gonna do is that valve, I'm gonna use it to bleed the system, so any air that's in the system will come out by just opening it for a second until coolant comes back out again. So I'm gonna grab the coolant. Okay, so the motor is running. I got it bled out. Now I just do need to go get a bit more coolant because 3.8 liters was not enough for the entire system. So what I found to help is once the engine started, turn the blower motor on to 4 so that it circulates everything out through there, and you should be good. So I'm gonna go get some more coolant and then she'll be ready to go.